You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my reaction to the 2025 Golden Globe Awards. Now, before we get into this reaction and review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. All right, so the Golden Globe Awards just wrapped up, and it was an interesting ceremony. Up and down, pretty much all night long. But I have to say this, it was not the boring, bland, predictable fest that I anticipated. So I guess there's that. So we're going to break it all down, the winners, the big moments, the speeches, the host, all of that fun jazz. But here at Chilly Boy Productions, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the award show, we have to talk about the red carpet and discuss some of the best and worst dressed of the evening. So I'm just going to say this, more or less, this carpet was terrible. I thought almost everyone looked okay, fine, sure, to just bad. Looking through all of the galleries of the red carpet presentations, I was like, what is going on this year? Half the people didn't even try, the other half wore something. That's what we'll say there. So let's kick things off with the longer list of the two and talk about the worst dressed. Ali Wong turned out to be a Golden Globe winner for her comedy special tonight. Unfortunately, she was a red carpet loser. Do we have eyes on Elmo? Because it looks like he was sheared and shredded to give Ali Wong her ensemble this evening. What in the Party City streamers is happening here? I don't know what the thought process behind this was. The black gloves matching the black pants or whatever's going on underneath this shredded mess is fine, but black gloves with a literal dollar store paper mache? No. This design maybe could have worked if it didn't look so cheap. I mean, that fabric just looks so cheap. And then that bow in the middle, no, it's just no. Mm-mm. This one, you leave for the recycling bin. So, Chris Perfetti, I'm not really all that familiar with you, sir. This had potential to work, but instead you kind of look like you're here to hold trays. The jacket is kind of cute. I think maybe it would have been better with this a white pant, actually, rather than giving us, butler extraordinaire. Plus, this off-white on the stark white with no bow tie or tie at all to tie it in was a mistake. So I actually don't hate the cut necessarily of Kaylee Cuoco's dress. I hate that it is a quilt. What in grandma's blanket do we have going on here, Miss Cuoco? And it's made all the more grand matronly by the cut of the dress, how this built-in shawl cowl going on up here, the length of the dress, and then you add on this heavy, unbreathable fabric. I don't think anyone could pull this off. Yeah, time to give Grandma her blanket back. But in many ways, she actually does blend quite nicely with this very old-fashioned rose flower backdrop that the Globes decided to do. So, maybe she was in theme. Carla Sofia Gascon, I know you explained the colors of your dress, and I thought that was a lovely explanation. I know, you haven't really come to these award shows and had the opportunity to be nominated before. Oh, but I really wish you had had the opportunity to show up in something befitting a nominee of the evening like you deserved, because this is very off the rack, mother of the bride. Actually, this is very bridesmaid of you. The cut really is not flattering to Carla at all, and it just looks very, unfortunately, inexpensive. Melissa McCarthy, the Pepto-Bismol monster, showed up to the ceremony, I see. Honestly, the pink pantsuit is okay. It's literally just this ruffle. I don't know, is it a coat? It kind of looked attached when she was up there doing her bit, giving out the award. I don't know what it is, whatever it is. Cape, coat, draping on the back of a bodysuit, whatever's going on here. It's a no, girl. It is a no. The pink huffalumps of the world beg you, Melissa McCarthy. Stop with these type of fashion choices. Does somebody want to explain to me why the bottom of Naomi Watts' dress has a little fuck-ass bob cut? What is that? That is wild. It is a crazy little adornment at the very bottom. Otherwise, the dress is actually fine. It fits her very well. The black up here is nice, elegant. It wouldn't have made my best list by any means, but whatever that weird ruffle thing is that creates a literal bob to showcase this little pink moment at the bottom, no ma'am. Jeremy Strong. This look. At least you did something different, huh? But I'm gonna need you to put down the like velour, crushed velvet style suits, sir. You're always wearing them, it seems like. And here you are again, and here it is not working again. Plus, you add that little hat and the damn turtleneck. Sir, this is not really awards attire. And it's just attire that doesn't work for me, period. Plus, the color green is hideous in my eyes, so no thank you. No more bow hats on the red carpet. Eddie Redmayne was another man who stepped outside of the box, gave us something other than just a regular old black suit. And it was just too much. My eyes are like assaulted by the pattern on the suit from top to bottom. This could have worked actually if he had just given us either a black pant or that cream colored pant that would match his undershirt. I actually think I would have really liked this because the jacket is big and bold, but you can't put the pants with it. But you can't match pants with that big bold print as well. It's just too much going on everywhere. But I actually like the cut of the shirt. I think the jacket is a cut. I like the cut of the jacket. His hair looks fantastic, actually. I love that color as well. Hey, Eddie. Next time, a little bit less is more, though, and just come in with the matching solid colored bottom. And this probably actually would have ended up on my best list. And once more, the fantastical Muppet community can't catch a break at this award show. Sarah Paulson, what kind of Muppet ostrich did you have to kill to make this monstrosity of a dress? All this, it's just too much bulkiness. Maybe if it were here, or if it were here at the waist, one or the other, it could have looked okay. Really, it should have just been up here, not here at the waist, cutting her off. And then we have that train out the back that looks terrible. The proportions are wild and weird. The hair does not go with this dress and the cut up here at all. Oh, Sarah, girl, leave this for the craft room. All right, and now to talk about my favorites, the best dressed of the evening. We're kicking off with one that made it here because I needed to bulk this up a little bit. If I'm being honest, some of these are passable that got bumped in. The first one being Cynthia Erivo. I overall really like this. I wish the top came up just a little bit more. It's a little bit too big of a V for me. And I'm very split on this big just box bow in the middle. I wish it was more of a actual bow than a real just box rectangle covering up her entire midsection. But I like the print and she's able to just pull it off. I like the cut of the actual dress itself, to be honest. It's okay. It's not great, but it was bold enough and it was a look that stood out in a more positive light for me. Likewise, Timothy Chalamet's look doesn't completely work for me, but it overall works for me. I love this glitter black suit. Just love it. I love that Timothy Chalamet is always taking risks, giving us stuff like a glittery suit. Yes, Timothy. And then, but then it comes to this little scarf moment. Mm, mm, kind of works. It gives us a pop of color, but the draping of it doesn't completely work for me, particularly as we go down and it's like peeking out the bottom of the coat. But this looks great, even with that little mustache. Not his best. We've seen Timothy deliver much better, actually, but still above most of the rest. Then, of course, we have Zendaya, who gives us Hollywood royalty once more, kind of like Timothy. Not her best for me. Obviously, I think we've seen her in much more elegant, beautiful, innovative looks, but it's giving classic Golden Globes here on the carpet. She's always going to kill it, basically. I love the cut of this dress. I actually think it looks gorgeous against her skin tone. The heels are top tier. I even love this big bellow in the back, the draping that comes off the back for this train. A little bit much, but it suits her just enough. And then this old glamour, hair, makeup, and jewelry top it all off. We have Selena Gomez also giving old Hollywood glamour, and she does so very, very eloquently. Funny enough, I think fun, funny enough, I actually think Ariana Grande also was going for an old Hollywood glamour. That one I was much more mixed on. However, I think Selena as well as Zendaya really delivered it. This color is beautiful on Selena. I love this like cape that she's holding over her arm here. The hairstyle looks gorgeous on her, and then this absolutely stunning jewelry. Simple, elegant, and beautiful. Colin Farrell killed it in this very simple, traditional, old school white blazer with these black lapels that looked fantastic. A couple other people did the white and black look. Nobody touched Colin this year. The black bow tie, black shirt, black pants accentuated the black accents of the coat so well. It fit him beautifully. He always looks great up here. The hair, fantastic. Talk about debonair. And I wanted to just give a quick shout out to Tyler James Williams, who blended chic and sexy with the no shirt under this fabulous gray ensemble. I think the pants could have fit just a touch better, but overall, I enjoyed the look. And then we had Guy Pearce in this absolutely fabulous, beautiful gray suit. I love this color gray. I loved the cut of this blazer. I loved the black lapels. It was very sleek, very stylish, classic without being boring. And then finally, without a doubt, honestly, hands down, no competition, the best dressed of the night, men, women, they, thems, everybody else on the carpet. It was Demi Moore. She looked absolutely stunning in this liquidy gold ensemble that had this stunning glittery embellishment coming down the center. I love this cut up at the top. Her makeup was absolutely flawless. Her hair looked stunning. With this dress to just do this dangling earring was perfect. When I say Demi Moore looked like absolute perfection on the red carpet, please know, I mean that wholeheartedly. She should have won the award just for this look alone, if we're being honest. So those were my picks for who was the best and worst dressed of the evening. Let me know your thoughts and who you thought had the best and worst outfits on the carpet. Now, as we head into the actual ceremony, I am not really that familiar with Nikki Glazer. I've never really watched any of her comedy specials. Comedy specials like that aren't really my jam, and I haven't seen her in a roast or anything, so I had no opinion heading into tonight's ceremony. But she won me over. I actually thought she was very likable, very funny. She took some swings that missed and were a little bit too much, like the whole Diddy thing. She was really trying to recover that. It never really recovered, especially when you start comparing people to Diddy and what he did and them hosting parties. It gets real dodgy. Don't compare me to that. You hear? But otherwise, she had some great little zingers in her opening. That Ben Affleck joke, I was hollering, holding space for TV. I know all you TV lovers, but listen, that was funny to me as well. That peacock joke was great. The whole thing about Tilda Swinton playing Timothy Chalamet and then Timothy Chalamet having lovely eyelashes on his upper lip. She was just really funny, and she kept that same energy throughout, poking fun at herself over that weird, wicked Pope mix up and everything else. I thought she did a very nice job keeping the train rolling all night long. Honestly, one of the best award show hosts I think we've had in quite some time. Certainly an improvement over the hosting situation from last year. But then we get the production and the flow of the whole evening, and the Golden Globes are gonna Golden Globe again. I am really glad that Seth Rogen straight up called out the Globes for that horrific side angle they decided to do for the categories and presentations. It didn't look good, and it was awkward and weird. They didn't like it, and we didn't like it watching it home either. Then we had the screen. I don't know if they were trying to catch the screen in the background while the presenters were going, but most of the time it was like too far off to the side, so we couldn't even see the category in the back while they were talking about it. It was just a mess. And then the camera would like come in on them like this and then like have to pull out just a little bit. No. And I don't know, did everybody else notice like weird sound issues throughout the night? Like sometimes the sound would go really far out and it was hard to hear. Other times it was blaring on music while people were speaking, particularly like the announcer announcing somebody who just won and then giving their accolades or whatnot. I couldn't hear what he was talking about because of the music that they were playing over top. Those little fun facts, those weird facts and stuff. No, we don't need that either. And can we please get packages back? Oh my gosh, please. Can we get packages? I don't know why award shows, every couple years, it feels like one year they'll do actual video packages, show us clips, and then the next year they decide we don't want to see that or we don't need to see that. No, every time, I promise you, it's better than just awkwardly looking at people in the audience. Every single time. Plus, for casuals, if you're trying to get more casual people in to watch these things, it's a nice reminder of what it is they're nominated for. I don't know, showcase the work. But this year was extremely awkward. They put this little picture up here in the corner, and then they had like a little location ding pop up over the actor or actress's head in the audience. What? And then that television category that Gary Oldman was nominated for, I apologize, I can't remember which one it was. It got stuck on him while they were talking about other actors, including our eventual winner, and we didn't get to see them because we were stuck on Gary Oldman. Another time, we cut back from like a video package to just random people off to the side, either doing their job or just like, I don't know, doing nothing, mingling around instead of going back to the stage. There was a lot of technical issues at this year's Golden Globe Awards. Yeah, we're gonna need to get that fixed. Plus, anyone else find it weird how quickly the actual video packages went when we got them? So for categories such as like Best Animated Feature, Best Picture Drama, Best Picture Comedy, Best TV Series Drama, Comedy, whatever the case might be, the big ensemble style categories, they gave us quick video packages. Each clip was like half a second long, and then on the last clip, they cut it so quick and then swooped back to the presenters in the room before they were even done speaking, the actual nominee. It was not a very well produced show, in my opinion. Also, we're back to this with animation. I thought animation got highly disrespected by Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford. I'm sorry. I did not like their presentation at all. It felt very dismissive toward the category. They made a joke out of it. I didn't like it, especially because once Anthony Mackie started actually, talking and saying what he was supposed to say after they did their weird, awkward bit where they just stood silent and acted like they didn't know what they were doing, it was meant to be heartfelt. It was actually meant to be like, look at all of these different genres. Look at what types of messaging came through from animation, the amazingness of the animated film and quality we get. And instead, Mackie was just up there like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Honestly, I thought Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie were the worst possible choice to present that award, and I really didn't appreciate how they decided to do it. So now, let's go ahead and get into the winners and talk about some of the highlights in the category winners, as well as in speeches. A couple of awkward moments in speeches. And we're going to kick off with supporting actor and actress in motion pictures, going to Zoe Saldana and Kieran Culkin. This is no disrespect to either actor. I really enjoy them both. I've always loved Zoe Saldana ever since Crossroads, back with my girl Brittany. Ma'am, you quite literally have the most screen time in Emilio Perez. More screen time than the lead, than anyone else. You're on our screen more than Amelia is. So Zoe Saldana winning Best Supporting Actress is literally a crime. quite possibly the worst example of category fraud I've ever seen. So I can't be on board with that win ever. And I do think both of these actors have a good shot of sweeping their categories because when you look at Kieran Culkin, sir, you are a co-lead with Jesse Eisenberg in A Real Pain. The two of you are definitively co-lead. You have almost the exact amount of screen time as Jesse Eisenberg in that film. What are we doing? Calling that performance a supporting performance. It's maddening. It's maddening. So watching these two actors in leading roles for their films win supporting actor and actress was craziness. And it just boggles my mind that we're about to let it happen through the entirety of award season. I don't know how we can start controlling this and not just letting the filmmakers and the studios decide where to submit folks, but we need to do something because this is craziness. But of course, that kicked off our Amelia Perez evening at the Globes. We all kind of knew it would after it won this historic number of nominations. I don't know. Does no one in the industry find it insane to watch this white man from France who is not part of the Rainbow Mafia in any fashion, as far as I know, at least. Get up there, win Best International Film, Best Non-English Language Film, I think is what it is at the Globes, for a movie set in Mexico, spoken mostly or heavily in Spanish, takes place heavily in Mexico and tries to depict Mexican culture. And he gets up there and gives his acceptance speech in French, because that's his native language and the language he most knows. Okay, cool. And then you find out he didn't want to learn more about Nate. And then you find out things like he didn't want to learn about Mexican culture. He didn't do any type of research because his version was the right version, I guess. Yay, for more gang stereotypes of Mexico, right? That's the way to go. Yeah, I didn't love that. And then it went on to win again for Best Original Song. And then it won again for Best Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical. Hmm. Shouldn't have been a musical. The film would have been much better if it weren't a musical, because the musical numbers were cringe as hell. Yeah. Y'all want to make Wicked the villain and, talk about Wicked so crazy this award season when Amelia Perez is right here. Another musical is in the front, ready to be the villain. And it pains me because I do love Carla Sofia Garzon. I think she's fantastic. I think she's fabulous, and I want her to get more opportunities. I love that she got this leading role, and we are talking about a trans woman and giving her her due. And I loved what she had to say in her part of the acceptance speech when it came to Amelia Perez. I just wish the behind the camera talent were different and could have given us a better representation of the culture at large. Yeah. Then we had Best Screenplay, Conclave. So happy about that. It also was the first indicator Honora was about to get swept. Demi Moore took down Miss Mikey Madison, and now Conclave took down Honora. That's right, Honora went home with the goose egg tonight. Zero, nada, nothing, zilch. What does that say for the rest of award season? We'll see. But I have to say, let's talk about her. Miss Demi Moore winning Best Female Actor in a Comedy or Musical for The Substance, beating Miss Mikey. Oh my gosh. My favorite win of the whole evening. I jumped. I was so excited, so happy for Demi. And then she gives by far the best acceptance speech of the evening. Knocked it out of the park. I think just solidified her not only Oscar nomination, but right now, I'm riding that Demi Moore train all the way to the Oscar win, baby. And she deserves it. And tonight, oh my gosh, had me emotional listening to this amazing acceptance speech talking about people calling her a popcorn actress at best. The first award she's ever won in over a 30-year career is crazy for an actress like Demi Moore. This resurgence is just so fantastic. I'm so happy for her, and the performance is so good. Then we had Sebastian Stan win next for another surprise winner. And I was once again very excited for Sebastian. And I love that we had the tandem of The Substance and A Different Man get their two lead actors up here to win these awards because they deal with a lot of similar theming actually in their performances. I know I don't talk a lot about the TV side here, but I'll just give a quick shout out to the Penguin, whoop whoop, getting an actual win for Colin Farrell, who looked amazing, and Shogun. I loved to see Shogun sweep through the evening, including all of the acting performances, because so often we saw it with something like Parasite. We've seen it several times actually with these foreign language, foreign productions, if you will, coming through with a lot of foreign-born actors in them. The project will get the project will get all the accolades. People will love it, and yet they just don't nominate any of the actors on the front of the camera. So I'm so happy that Shogun all around got recognized. Emma D'Arcy, you continue to be robbed, my love. And Interview with the Vampire. I don't know what more we have to do to get your deserved nominations. But then we had Flow winning for Best Animated Film, which I was very excited about. It's an indie. I think that's the most exciting thing to have Flow go on the run it's having right now is that it's this wonderful little indie animated film. It's a foreign film, this small production from this little director just kind of like pushing his movie out there. So while I'm really sad that The Wild Robot went home empty-handed, just by and large, hello, we easily could have given it that Best Original Song, but that's just me. I am very happy for Flo, and I'm glad that it's coming down to Flo and the Wild Robot for this Oscar. And then we had Best Original Score for Challengers. Look, it could have went to Doom Part 2, it could have went to the Wild Robot, or it could have went to Challengers, and I would be happy. I'm so happy it went to Challengers because that's the one that really needs the help right now. Doom Part 2 is not even on the shortlist, can't get nominated at the Oscars. I think the Wild Robot is getting in. Challengers needed the push, and it got it. Please, Academy, do what's right. Do what's right. Best Director, Brady Corbett, which we knew. The Brutalist also went on to win for Best Lead Actor with Adrian Brody. He's about to steamroll his way right on over to that Oscar. I have no doubt about it. The Brutalist also wins for Best Drama, which, again, I think it's about to steamroll his way to that Oscar. So all that was a little bit underwhelming for someone who didn't love The Brutalist like me. Sorry, but it was all kind of expected. I have to say, I know film Twitter is eating it up. I know they just love when a director talks like this. I did not like Brady Corbett's speech for Best Drama. Getting up there kind of being self-indulgent and self-important about directors. And yes, we should give new ideas a chance, but this idea that directors should have the final say is something I've never fully been on board with because so often we see directors go down vanity project loopholes that create madness. Megalopolis, I'm looking at you. And it happens often, actually. I think directors can become very self-indulgent. That's why you have checks and balances of some sort. Somebody to look over a script and say, I think this isn't quite working. Someone to look over your project, edit it down. Him up there just blabbing on about creating a 4-hour movie like this was actually, I thought, quite cringe. I found his acceptance speech this time to be cringe. His one for director was fine, but it seemed like a slightly out of touch and a little bit self-indulgent talk coming from Mr. Corbet. But then we have to talk about Miss Fernanda Torres, who was kind of our final shock of the evening for Best Actress in a Drama. I love that win. I think she's fabulous, and I'm still here. I love to see foreign actors win in these categories. Oh, but it came at the expense of Angelina Jolie. I hate to say this. I think tonight kind of ended Angelina's Oscar run for the year, and I'm completely baffled by it. I thought she was so good in Maria. I don't know what it is with Pablo Larraín's films that people seem to struggle with every single time. He creates films that have this beautiful cinematography, though they never get nominated in cinematography. They have stunning costumes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't get nominated there. Usually have stellar original scores, and then they have an amazing performance from the lead actress. Now, both Natalie Portman and Kristen Stewart somehow pulled off their nominations, thankfully. But both of them lost. Kristen Stewart, I think we barely pushed over the line to get her nomination. And it feels like every time he creates one of these things, we're fighting for our lives to get one of the best performances of the year, even in the nomination consideration. And that's what's really happening right now with Angelina Jolie. So all of her biggest competitors were in the other category with Cynthia Erivo, with Demi Moore, with Mikey Madison, all chilling over there in comedy or musical, and then she can't take home drama. Ugh, I really think that might have been it for Angelina this award season. Unfortunately, she's not on the BAFTA's long list, which is actually insane to me that she's not even on the frickin' long list. I don't know. I don't know what it is because it's a stunning performance that I think should be celebrated and is getting highly undervalued. It made me very sad. And then, of course, I have to talk about this achievement in box office award. What is this award? It very much confuses me. What's the point of it? Last year, I think they lucked out because Barbie was the movie they knew wasn't going to win any real awards, but they wanted to award it, and it happened to be the highest grossing film of the year. So, boom, box office achievement. There you go. Unfortunately for me, and in my opinion, undeservingly, Wicked was that performance. Wicked was that film this year, at least for the Golden Globe. I still think we have a shot, maybe, with Ariana Grande. We'll see. But Wicked is that movie that people really love and have kind of latched on to, and we want to see it get awards. But they weren't going to award it, so they gave it box office achievement. Hmm. Except here's the thing, it's not the highest grossing film of the year, and it's not the highest grossing film even in that category. Actually, it's pretty far down the list, and we have some that grossed more that didn't even get nominated, like Moana 2, even though they nominated Moana 2 in Best Animated Feature. It's about to make $1 billion. Why didn't it get box office? I don't know. Then we look at something like Inside Out 2, the highest grossing film of 2024 that was critically highly acclaimed. It also got nominated for another award this evening. I don't know how you justify not giving Inside Out 2 the box office award. It was a very good film that you want to see get awarded, and it made almost an entire $1 billion more than Wicked did at the box office. It wasn't even close. Wicked wasn't even like Deadpool and Wolverine close to Inside Out 2's actual box office achievement. The Pixar flick dominated the box office in 2024 and wasn't even within touching distance of Wicked at the end of the year ranking. So I love Wicked, obviously, you can see. I adore it. I want to see it get tons of nominations at the Oscars. It did not deserve that award tonight. Sorry, if we're going to introduce a box office achievement award, the only way I see we can give it to any film other than the highest grossing film of the year is if that film is just bad. And that's subjective, but if you're looking at just general consensus, it doesn't get nominated anywhere else in the category. It doesn't have great critical reception. It wasn't generally well received in that sense. Then I can see arguments for, well, we're not going to give it that. Honestly, I think you'd even be hard pressed not to give it to Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, that was only nominated for one award. It was still met with generally favorable reviews, though, and critical success. So even that, it's hard to argue against. Honestly, Wicked winning over Dune Part 2, which currently has a higher box office, is crazy. And then films like Moana 2 and Despicable Me 4, while certainly not critically lauded, they made a ton more money than stuff like Alien Romulus or even the wild robot. So what are we doing? What are we doing with this category? You call it box office achievement, like critical and box office achievement, cinematic and box office achievement, whatever it's called. But it's about box office. Then you need to take the box office more heavily into consideration here. I don't understand. So that's my whole gripe about that box office award. Love you, Wicked. I'm glad you won something tonight, but that award should have been to Inside Out too. Just saying. But overall, the Golden Globes were an exciting watch. They were messy. I saw that they had a counter. off to the side of like the distributors or the companies and how many awards they won, kind of like a betting odds board. Are you kidding me? That is so tacky. But, the Golden Globes are going to Golden Globes. That's why the fashion was so miss compared to hit this year because, well, people just come to get drunk, I guess. But I'm glad we got some surprise winners. Some good, some not my favorite. But we're kicking off an award season that I hope does not turn into a predictable, stale bore fest for the rest of the season. So that was my recap and review of the 2025 Golden Globe Awards. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. And, of course, join in on the discussion. What did you think of the Golden Globes, the winners, the fashions, the speeches, all of that mess? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!